when I'm paying attention to a song like that, where I start noticing and I'm writing things down, that is a telltale sign. It's a great song, great listen, had me completely. I'm with it every step of the way, and I'm noting it down because I am paying attention. Someone might be saying, "Oh, he's got his head down." Who cares? The fact is, I'm listening, I'm loving it, I'm paying attention, and then I'm talking to you about this and telling you how great it was. Great song. Great song. And now I heard it from beginning to end, and I wrote down masterpiece. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is Greg, and that guy over there is Chris. And Chris, you got Ko-fi or you got your own? Which one?
I've got a request to a Ko-fi site.
Okay.
It's requested by Marty Bum, and it's called "The Width of a Circle." David Bowie.
Yeah, Marty Bum. We've done, right? A couple, I think, of his. Yeah. All right. "The Width of a Circle" by Bowie.
The Width of a Circle.
Okay, "Width of a
You
Circle."
could have just called it diameter.
Okay. Diameter, width of a circle. It's not ringing the bell. But okay, let me go check it out.
All right,
and
give it a
come
shot.
back and let me know if I know it, and if I like it, love it, hate it. Come on back.
Okay.
Love is beginning. Okay, I know the song.
I would sit and blame the master first and last. All the roads were straight and narrow, and the roads were scarred and yellow, and the rumor spread that I was aging fast. Then I ran across a monster who was sleeping by a tree. And I looked and frowned, and the monster was me.
Got a guitar. Is that Mick Ronson playing?
When I say hello, and I say hello, and they ask why not, and I replied I don't know. So he asked a simple black bird who was happy as can be. Well, he laughed insane and quit Khalil Gibran. And I cried for all the others till the day was nearly through.
drums too. Wow, the whole band.
You swallowed his pride and puckered his lips. Show me the leather bound round his hips. My knees were shaking, my cheeks aflame. He said, "You'll never go down to the gods again." He struck the ground, the cabin appeared, and I smelled the burning pit of fear. It crashed 1,000 yards below. I said, "Do it again, do it again." His nebulous body swayed above, his tongue swollen with devil's love. A snake and high, a venom high. I said, "Do it again, do it again." Breathe, breathe, breathe deeply. And I was seething, breathing deeply. A spitting century horned and tail, waiting for you.
Well, thank God I didn't hate the song. On the contrary, I loved it.
I thought you would.
Otherwise, I had to be sort of tussling with David Bowie fans out there.
Yeah,
Um,
they're a pretty rough crowd.
yeah, they're
You
rough.
don't
They're a
wanna
rough bunch.
tussle with
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And I knew the song.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, yeah, and it's so funny. So that first off, that beginning, well, but it's one of those that I don't know if I've actually listened to the whole darn thing, but there were a
Yeah.
couple parts, that beginning part, um, that was familiar. And then once he started singing the song, it was like confirmation. Yeah, boom, I know
Yeah.
it. And then there was later on in the song, but I want to get back because there's other things too. But later on in the song, there was a part that where there was like a switch up, and then he's like, "Do it again, do it again." That is I'm totally familiar with that. I love that. So I
Mhm.
don't know if like I've heard this in different. I think what it was that I've heard this like in different sort of like varied sort of listens, like I might have heard a little bit
A
in the
snippet
beginning,
here,
might have
snippet
heard a
there.
little bit in the, yeah, I mean, my attention span to music sometimes, if I'm not totally, I, I might just, be in the moment of listening to something and then boom, I'm like out, and
Mhm.
I can't, I can't go back anymore and say,
You got to be
you
in
know,
the right mood too.
about, yeah, I mean, it's my attention to songs now and giving stuff more of time and to listen fully beginning to end before I kind of say no. uh yeah, it's different. That said, holy crap, what a song. It's so
There were
good.
lots of change ups in this one.
I love the beginning. I can't wait to go back just to kind of hear the beginning again. I loved that beginning.
And that's like that's the like riff that it's all built around. That
Yeah.
Nick Ronson, his guitar player, came up with that apparently.
It's so good. It has this distortion that begins the song. It kind of comes in, the sort of guitar sort of noise.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, right
and
from the start.
and then
Well, feedback.
yeah, this sort of
Yeah.
feedback. Okay. But it's got, well, I say guitar noise, and I don't mean that in a negative way.
Mhm.
And then like guitar notes, these notes that then an acoustic guitar joins in. And it's so good. I love that.
We were talking about that with when we did the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, the album. We were
Mm,
talking about how on a lot of the songs on that, you had the electric guitar, but you had that acoustic guitar behind it,
yes.
and how it just adds so
And it
much.
made it almost like its own instrument or something, like
Yeah,
its own sound.
yeah.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to hang on that a little bit, jump a little bit. That drumming, because we've also talked about the drumming in that context too, because the drum sometimes with the acoustic and the electric almost like is all blended in. It's again, those drums, I think intentionally Bowie likes to, definitely on this one, where they almost like they low mic'd it, like the
Hmm.
drums are doing really well. I'm hearing them. I mean, really
Right,
technically great,
right,
but they're not loud.
right.
And it's like he's probably like, there's so much other stuff that I want like to really to sort of take center focus and like that.
Hmm.
Maybe, I'm just thinking like that. But that's just the sound that he wanted, because I mean that's the kind of sound with the drums on his songs, a lot of his songs, especially like
Right.
the earlier stuff.
Right.
That was like
That's
almost
good.
like a low mic drum. Yeah. Anyway, that said, then the bass comes in, right? With the acoustic, and it just fleshes it out. It's beautiful. I love the beginning. It's fantastic. And then Bowie comes in, um, and and then um, there's this sort of there's a solo that's like 2 minutes in, that kind of comes in. That's cool.
And a
And
big one
then
near the end. Yeah.
a great one at the end. Yeah, yeah. And then what happens later on, about 4 minutes, I think 4 minutes, I kind of looked at the time, 4 minutes and 30 seconds in, something like that. It slows down. It almost like stops.
Hmm.
And there's an acoustic that sounds a lot like the acoustic guitar from Bargain, from The Who. It's got that very,
Oh,
it's,
oh, well, you mean when it starts? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's almost as though it sounded like it was sampled. It sounded very much like that. That was cool.
I think this might predate that because this
I,
came out
I
in
was going to ask
'70.
you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in no, it was released in 1971. So
So
I
who
don't
knows?
remember when the Who released.
Who knows? Who knows? Right? Yeah.
Um,
Um,
who's
and
next?
and then after that, then it opens up and gets very space-like, spacey and
Mhm.
spacious, and Bowie starts to go, "Ooh." Oh,
Mhm.
oh, and you just kind of like you're drifting, you're right up there
Yeah.
with them, kind of tumbling around in space and stuff like that. Um, and then it picks up again, and it becomes a different song. It becomes like um like after five, like into like 5 minutes and 40 seconds, 50, whatever, almost towards six, it just becomes a different song. And then I think the guitars come in and go out. And when I'm paying attention to a song like that, where I start like noticing and I'm writing things down, that is a telltale sign. It's a great song, great listen. Had me completely. I'm with it every step of the way,
Mhm.
and I'm noting it down because I am paying attention. Someone might be saying, "Oh, he's got his head down." Who cares? The fact is, I'm listening. I'm loving it. I'm paying attention, and then I'm talking to you about this and telling you how great it was. Great song, great song. And now I heard it from beginning to end, and I wrote down masterpiece. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Okay.
Isn't that
Cool.
cool?
I'll have to
I
agree
can't.
with you on that.
I think
I'll agree with you on that one.
this is great. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. It's all in my hands
Marty
now.
Bum. I mean, we have a lot more conversation, I think. But Marty Bum.
Um, I agree. Yes, good job, Marty Bell. Um, okay, so it was written, it was written by Bowie in '69. So, of course, I don't know if he made any adjustments to it before recording it, but I'm off the hook as far as interpreting the lyrics because David Bowie said about it. He said, "I used to have periods, weeks on end, when I just couldn't cope anymore. I'd slump into myself. I felt so depressed and I really felt so aimless. And this torrential feeling of what's it all for anyway." So yeah, he was getting in the depths there.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's talking about the whole album. The whole album he's referring to. He says in the whole album he went through that period. I guess when he was writing this song, and the width of a circle. That was one of those where he went into his depths. He says, and he said he tried to analogize that period of his life from when he left school to the time of the making of this record. And he said it was just for his own benefit, not really for any listener's benefit, which is interesting. He said he very much doubted whether anyone could decipher the song correctly on his level.
Okay.
He's right about that. He said, but a lot of people have deciphered it on their own levels. That's fine. That's what a song does. And I
Yeah,
love when artists say that
that's
because,
true. Yeah.
we're always trying to interpret lyrics and, um,
And
you
they
know,
know when they release that song, it's no longer theirs. It becomes yours.
yeah,
It
and
becomes
but
mine, yours, and everyone's. Yeah.
it also explains the vagueness and mystery of the lyrics. So that's why it's so hard to interpret. It's vague, right? Or it's got just imagery, and you think, does that imagery actually mean something? Or are they just creating a mood here, right? So
It's not fair though when he puts music like that. Because I mean, how do you really concentrate on the lyrics when you got such great music that's just
well, that's the
bringing you
thing.
along?
I guess you don't have to. You can always just go with the music.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Um,
I'm being fun
but
about it, but yeah, but still, yeah.
yeah, I will read off the Genius lyrics though, where
Cool.
a contributor said this. But the contributor is saying that the most widely recognized interpretation of the lyrics is that they describe a sexual affair between Bowie and a male divinity, which takes place in hell. Although it is unknown whether he is referring to God, the devil, or some other powerful being, because he mentions gods in it, right? Says some lyrics are also suggestive of his wild changes of image and persona and his redefining of his sexuality and masculinity. It packs a lot in there. So, but yeah, it's open to interpretation. Yeah, it's not like a typical narrative or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just to reiterate, I think just the music on its own holds this up. And to add the lyrics too, and even not knowing what the lyrics are, they're still powerful without knowing necessarily what they mean.
How do you rank the album that this is on? Right, Man Who Sold the World.
I'm mixed on this one, but mostly it's good. I would say other than a couple of songs, I would say it's a perfect album. So, and that surprised me because I only listened to it for the first time maybe 15 years ago or so.
Wow. It was such an amazing creative period of his career,
Sure,
in that time, right? The late
sure.
60s through the 70s up to like 75, 77. I mean, people argue, right up until, yeah, okay. But I'm just saying, like,
I'd say up until like for me, in my taste, with my taste, up
yeah,
until 1980,
okay.
and then periodically beyond that.
And then periodically, yeah, yeah,
But he was still prolific after that.
right.
He was always creating stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Great artist, man.
yeah, yeah. So glad for this request. This is, and it's funny too because it brings back memories of when you and I did Ziggy Stardust, right? And
Right.
that was a fun time. It was like
Yeah. Yeah, that was
we
good.
got to
Yeah.
do another song. We got to do another song. We got to build on it, and that was good. Those discussions, I really enjoyed them, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about David Bowie through those songs and through our
Mhm.
discussions. And so when I got this one, and then I loved it, I could not wait to get on the camera to talk to you about it, because I know how much
Cool.
you love David Bowie. So you have your own sort of like thoughts and context and sort of history too, going, that you can sort of
Mhm.
support things and all like that, and this
Right.
great conversation I think that we had today. So cool, man.
Yeah,
So
I think
thank you for
so.
that. So yeah, thank you for that again, Marty Bum. Thank you. Great one. And to everyone out there, really hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, hit the like button and sub if you haven't yet already. And we'll see everyone on the next episode of Into the Music.
See you.